What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
What kind of ignorant shit is that?
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
You idiot, you fool!
Hey, dummy!
This is the Ignorance is Blessed podcast.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Hey idiots, welcome back to Ignorance is Blessed, the podcast that attempts to overcome ignorance, mostly by asking ignorant questions with me, Jessica Michelle Singleton. I'm your host, I'm a comedian, I'm an idiot too, I don't know anything, that's why we're here, yay! If you're new to the podcast, welcome. Please subscribe, rate it, review it. You can do that all on the iTunes podcast app. It really helps. I love reading you guys' reviews. I've gotten some really nice ones lately, and it helps push the podcast up so more people can find it and get answers to all their ignorant questions. So thank you so much to those who've already done that. And if you haven't, it would be a big old help for me. Speaking of help for me, shout out to my best idiots forever, Jean and Kathy, top tier level patrons on my Patreon. We got lots of levels over there, so shout out to all my patrons. Go check it out, patreon.com/ignoranceisblessed. You can support the podcast and me via the podcast, and you get cool stuff. I have a stack of postcards going in the mail this week. So those will be going out. I send postcards from different places every month. You can get cool merch, bonus episodes. We just did one with Steve Ranazizi, which was really fun. And we do that all the time. And, you know, constantly working on new ideas for more stuff there. So head on over there. For as little as $1 a month, you can get bonus content from me and my hilarious friends. So thank you to those of you who have already done that. And if you want to see me live, I'm in LA the rest of the month. You can come see me all over the place. jmscomedy.com/shows. I'll be at the Comedy Store multiple times a week and doing several other spots about town. And in March, I will be in Reno, March 5th through 7th with this week's podcast guest. She will be featuring for me at Pioneer Underground. So take a trip to Reno, March 5th through 7th, so you can see me as well as Samantha Hale featuring. It's going to be dope shows. And Reno's a crazy town, so we will see what happens. You can also find me at the end of March in Houston. That's right, I'm coming to... Oh my God, I have the hiccups, motherfucker. Thank God the rest of the podcast is recorded. Skankfest South, March 27th through 29th. I believe most of the passes are sold out, but they have a couple day passes, individual day passes. And if you already have a pass to that, if you're in Houston, shout out to me. I don't know what I'm saying. I just repeated the same phrase. Listen, all I'm thinking about is the hiccups, and now I'm losing my voice. I don't understand what's happening. I haven't even had dairy this morning. Oh, that's not true. I had one milk chocolate. Look, it doesn't matter. I'll see you at Skankfest if you're in Houston. And Reno, March 5th through 7th. There they go. Let's just get to it. Samantha Hale is awesome. She works with, she's first of all, an amazing comedian. And stop what you're doing right now. Pause this and go over to the iTunes store and pre-order her album because it comes out at the end of this week. Samantha Hale, I'm Only Happy When It's Raining Men, which could not be more on brand for her, which you will learn as you get to know her more. She's fucking incredible. She's done a documentary about music and how it affects us. I'm so sorry for the hiccups, but I cannot wait for them to stop to record this or I will never get this episode out to you guys. And she's a great comedian. I met her when I started in LA. We both started together. Her grandpa is, by the way, Alan Hale, who was the skipper on Gilligan's Island, which is so funny. It's just amazing. And more importantly, well, not more importantly than all of that, but we talk about the fact that she is intertwined in the drag queen community. She is friends with lots of queens. If you are a RuPaul Drag Race fan, probably some people that you are fans of. And she's opened shows for a lot of them. She works with them. She's now booking some drag shows. So just the drag hag that we all know and love, but not a hag. And I think we addressed that in the episode. Anyways, I'll shut the fuck up. You guys go enjoy this awesome, fun interview with my dear friend, Samantha Hale. And go get her... her. Go get her album. Hey, idiots. Welcome back to Ignorance is Blessed. I'm here with, I call my fans idiots. I feel like I've said that the last 4 episodes. I should have prefaced you with that.
So thoughtful.
I'm here with hilarious, as I choke, hilarious, amazing comedian, Samantha Hale.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining
Thanks for
me.
having me.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm trying to get on this podcast for years.
For years. Oh my God. I've wanted to have you. I love hanging out with you.
Yeah.
If there's any way I need to be better about hanging out with people just
Me too.
without work, but I use work to shoehorn in
We're
hangout
complete
time.
workhorses.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, let's hang out because we're on the same lineup. Fantastic.
Yeah, like, oh, I want to do your
know.
show so I can come see you.
Uh-huh.
It's an
It's
ongoing
so
problem.
dumb.
The workaholism is real.
I know.
But speaking of your shows, I just did one like a couple weeks ago.
And you
So
crushed.
fun. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hard Room. In theory.
Hamburger Mary's in West Hollywood.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of built for ADD. If you look at it, there's a disco ball and there's drag queens and there's the drinks literally come in a leg, like a leg.
It's so fun.
You know, like the Christmas story lamp.
Yes.
Imagine that full of vodka.
Full of vodka. People are chugging it. So
Yeah.
then you've got people filled with booze.
There's bachelorette parties. There's people who are like wasted from the show before. Yeah,
I know,
it's-
and people who are probably like, this bitch isn't a drag queen, or
Yeah.
this is the laziest
this is a
drag
real
queen.
girl.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Ew.
She doesn't have a penis.
You don't belong here. So you're fighting a lot of things, but I love a room where it's like,
A challenge.
Oh, I have to win you. Like that's where it's like, I'm gonna make you love me.
Very that.
Yes. But
Very that.
I mean, but that's like that's where you run shows, is these drag clubs.
Yeah.
You're like the token straight woman in the drag scene, I feel like, in my eyes.
Someone actually the other day called me the Chelsea Handler of West Hollywood. I'm like, I'll take it.
That
Thank you.
is amazing.
I'm okay with that. That's fantastic. I mean, her tits are way nicer than mine, but I'll take it.
Nonsense. You have great tits.
Thank you.
How do we? Okay, let's just like back up into how did you get involved in the drag world? Because I've like been there for years.
About like 7-8 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is wild because I'm straight. I'm not happy about it, but I'm straight. Okay, so back when I was in high school, I did the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And yeah,
The best.
everybody did, right? I played Janet, and I was on a couple different casts.
dream.
Yeah. Oh God. Of course, I was like the nice virginal one who turned slut at the end. Perfect for me.
Great.
So, I was on a couple different casts, and I was on this one cast in Pasadena at the Fair Oaks Theater. It was like the most beautiful old theater. I think it's either condemned now or not open.
From
I
all
don't know.
your sinful
All
musicals.
the terrible things that happened there. But I just remember hearing, and I was like 16. I remember hearing, oh, there's a man on cast who plays Columbia, but he's so good at it, no one knows he's a man. And I thought, what does that mean? I didn't know what a drag queen was.
Whoa.
I didn't know what that was. And so I was like, oh, okay, I kind of had heard of this character named Dolly Levi.
Yeah.
And years later, we had a mutual friend reintroduce us, and we became friendly again.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I was working on this documentary about music at the time. And
That's
I thought,
right. An incredible documentary.
Yeah, thank you. It's called Map the Music.
Yes.
And I thought it'd be really interesting to interview a drag queen on how she chooses her music, like how it affects the audience, how it affects how much money she makes, like the vibe, the mood. I thought
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because that is so. Now I'm like, I want to interview a drag queen.
Yeah, because so the idea of that film was to interview people for all different backgrounds, work, jobs, ethnicity. I literally went around the world with that one, interviewing people, which is really cool.
So amazing.
Yeah, so I asked Dolly, I said, can I interview you? And she said, well, I'm more of a movie person. If you want to meet someone who's passionate about music, you should meet Morgan McMichaels.
Wow.
Yeah, and she was on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Amazing. Yes.
Yeah, and
anyone
so
listening who's a fan, I'm sure, is like freaking. Artists like, you guys, she knows all the queens.
I do. I know it's insane, but it's just so funny to me because I'm like, oh yeah, that's so and so, whatever,
Yeah.
Like it's so.
Yeah, there they are.
I forget that it's a massive, big, huge deal to people.
I do that with stand-up comedians
Yeah.
too, where it's like being at the store, I'll forget that like, oh, this person I'm watching is like gets mobbed.
Yeah.
By like celebrity, like
Yeah.
just fucking crazy fans.
They
And
have
you're like,
special after special on Netflix, and people want their autograph. And
you're like, oh, that's
pictures.
just a person
Oh,
I
that's
dick
so-and-so.
around with
Yeah,
backstage. And just like, fucking,
yeah. Right?
Yeah.
It is so funny. I actually had a conversation with a friend of mine named Dolores, who's also like kind of like me, kind of a, just low key happens to be friends with all the girls.
Drag
and it's
hag.
drag.
Is that a term?
Yeah,
It's a hideous term.
I think it is.
And it's not. That's not a good term. You're not a hag.
Well, I'm a little haggard sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, next to a drag queen, we all
Anyone
look
is.
like garden trolls.
Basically.
Yeah.
Not even like the garden troll that like someone threw away because it's not good enough
I
anymore.
was gonna say garden gnomes, and then I thought bridge
Same
troll.
thing. Same
We just
thing.
look like it's hard. It's hard to keep up with that
is.
level of
It is.
face.
Well, because if you think about it, they literally custom make their bodies according to what they want to look like. They can shape their own hip pads. They can choose what size breastplate they have. They can choose how to paint, what hair to do.
Oh my god.
They custom make. It's kind of the great thing about drag is that they take what they love most about women that they admire, their personalities or their, also their physicality, and they create a character based on women they admire.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool,
Yeah.
So when some people are like, oh, that's inappropriate that men are pretending to be women, I'm like, it's a huge compliment.
I want to ask you about like your thoughts on that, because some people think, I've heard just regular women go like, that's insulting, it's blackface for women, and I've heard the
Get
same.
the fuck over it.
I haven't heard, but a listener, I think so. Someone said they heard it. Some people think it's transphobic.
What?
That it's like,
How is it?
that it's like, I don't know what the right words to use is, that that cross-dressing in general is sort of like an affront to people who are actually transitioning. Have you ever heard anyone talk about that?
Well, see, the thing is I'm also I also work with a lot of trans women, and
yeah.
they perform in drag, like they work the drag shows.
Yeah, you go from like regular lady to drag lady.
I mean, they up their makeup.
Do
and
any
their costumes.
do you know any straight women who do it?
Yeah, they're called bio queens. Yeah,
There's a group like that.
there's a group like that.
Oh my God.
And some of these women are fierce. Like they know how they paint like drag. I mean, they
Yeah.
paint as if they were a man
trying to be this character.
Yeah, because drag makeup obviously is larger than life. I mean, everyone has a different style, but
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
we're-
there's tons of girls who are doing it now. It's a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing it?
No, that's way too much work.
Like,
Are you
ugh,
kidding me?
I don't have that
show
kind of
up,
energy.
girl. I show up to the shows wearing tennis shoes and no makeup. I don't give a shit.
You
Nope.
can't be a bio queen in like a bathrobe just swatting at people with no
Nah,
makeup on.
I don't think we'd make it. I don't think we'd get
I don't
very
know
far.
why I didn't get a tip
I
from
don't
even
know.
one person.
I don't know. And then on top of that, there's also drag kings,
Yeah.
which are women who perform as males.
Okay.
And it's pretty incredible what some of them can do. Probably the most successful, most like popular one would be Landon Cider.
Okay.
Get the name.
Landon Cider.
Cider.
Ah,
But yeah,
fun. I love a good drag
I've
name.
known Landon for a while, and like he's always been amazing. He's one of the best makeup artists you'll ever see. Like he does Trump, he does Einstein, he does like a Cholo character. It's amazing.
That's fucking incredible.
Yeah, have you ever heard of Dragula?
Yeah, I feel like I have.
So it's kind of like RuPaul's Drag Race for avant-garde monster makeup, blood, gore effects.
Oh,
yeah. And
wow.
so Landon Cider just won the last season. So a
That's
drag king won.
Fucking incredible. Also, just learning that skill of makeup, because I feel like it's an industry where it has to start off really DIY.
Yeah.
Right? That you're like trying to craft your own shit.
Well, it's very different for the girls who are starting now, because now drag is at the forefront.
Yeah,
of
it's like
entertainment now. It's
accessible.
so hot right now. It's great. RuPaul really did change everything.
That's amazing.
But some of my friends who started way before Drag Race was a thing, they didn't have YouTube tutorials on how to glue down your eyebrows. They didn't know
Right?
how to do it. They didn't know how to contour.
You can learn everything.
It was trial and error. But that's why they have drag mothers. It's kind of like an apprenticeship. There's entire families.
So it's like sort of like a mentorship for a drag queen who's been doing it longer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they teach them how to paint, how to do characters, every person has their own style. So
Absolutely.
you can kind of see family resemblances sometimes.
That's so funny
Yeah.
that they're kind of just taking. I feel like maybe that happens a little unintentionally, probably in other. I'm sure it happens in music. People have a sound similar to people they look up to.
Well, there's
or-
only so many notes on the scale.
Yeah. Well, even in comedy, it's probably like people
There's only
don't realize how
yeah.
much their cadence is maybe a mashup of the comedians they grew up
Absolutely.
watching. Or
Absolutely.
wow.
Yeah.
And so wait, we derailed. And
We did.
which I love. But you met back up with this person after years.
Yeah, so I met up with Dolly,
That's right,
and Dolly introduced me to Morgan. I interviewed Morgan, and we just kind of hit it off, became friends. And I started hanging out at Mickey's, which is, one of the big gay bars
Yeah.
in West Hollywood.
Huge drag show.
Yeah, I just started hanging out there, and it was just fun. And then I started eventually meeting other girls. I started hanging out in Palm Springs at Morgan shows, and eventually I met other queens that way. And then I eventually started opening Morgan shows. Like I would do a set at the top of the show.
How is that? How is it going up? Because I've gone up.
You did? Did you came out with me once to Palm Springs?
No, I wanted to, and I
you were
had
going
something.
but-
I got booked on something, but
yeah.
I've gone up and heard about other people going up in front of musicians, and that's a weird.
Yeah.
For me, I went up in front of my friend. Was like so excited to have me open for her, and she is just this killer jazz bassist, and people were not
very
there for.
different.
And they were fans of her, and they're like, "What in the fuck is happening?"
Yeah.
And it was me and Jamar neighbors.
Oh God,
who
Jamar
was like
of all people,
an
who's so
absolutely
loud.
just wild cards,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, Jamar is
Hilarious, but
off
like,
the wall, such
you
a
have to-
different vibe.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Ugh."
That's funny. Yeah, the one time that I did a show full of musicians, yeah, I bombed. They weren't into it. I got a joke about it, about how afterwards this like 90-year-old man just kind of like hobbled up to me and was like, "Well, at least you were having fun." I'm like, "Oh damn."
You're like, "Oh wow, even the guy who's about to die."
I got
liked
heckled by
me.
Father Time. That's what happened. I was like, "Shit." Yeah, they weren't there for that. But so gay bars are that was I think I grew a lot as
Just
a
from
comic.
that.
Yeah, because you can't let anything rattle you. You have to demand their attention. First of all, they don't even know. These shows that I was doing, they didn't even know that there was a comic there.
Yeah, they're like, "We're
I
here
was
for
just
drag."
kind of thrown up. I wasn't advertised. I'm not, eventually they kind of got used to it, and some of the regulars
Yeah,
were like,
of
"Oh,
course.
great, are you doing a set?" But there were nights when I just had to be like, "Hey, people in the back of the room, hey, hi, there's a girl on stage. I don't have a dick. Get over it. Hello, hi."
Yeah. This is part of the fucking show.
Yeah, I had to do that several times. And sometimes they were amazing and they were just fire and so into it. Sometimes, like there was one time, there was this legendary drag performer, legendary, very respected in the community, and she was there as a boy. And when you see her as a boy, she's huge. She looks like this huge bear, just muscle and hair. So
Totally different,
Yeah.
probably.
So she was there, like sitting right in the front row, just glaring at me the entire time. Like she was not happy that I was there.
You're
know?
like, "Look, I'm not happy you look like that right
Basically,
now, bitch."
yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, and so then we all went to the dressing room after the show. She walked in, went up to every single queen and said, "Oh my God, honey, you were amazing." Da-da-da. Looked at me and walked right by. I'm like, "But what? Why do you? What really? Or what are you?
Envy.
Are you threatened by me?"
Yeah, are you threatened by the one woman who has regular woman makeup
Yeah.
on and is
Yeah.
telling jokes instead of
Yeah.
doing it's like lip syncing?
Yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about doing comedy is I don't have to create my figure and my body and paint my face to go do it. I can go in my sweatshirt.
Yeah. You're like, "Sorry that I'm fine being up here looking the way
Like,
I
would.
look."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a huge fan.
Huge fan. No, like she's so talented. She's amazing and so well respected that I didn't
What's
want to
almost
be like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
but it's almost a thing where it's like, you don't need to be salty. Like, you're amazing.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with
Yeah,
you.
I'm not a threat to you. It was very weird.
Some people are probably just so territorial.
Yeah.
There's comedians who get like snippy about just musical comedians. You know, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you had to bring
It
up a
happens.
ukulele," and you're like, "Okay."
Yeah, okay, whatever. Calm down, Becky.
Relax.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like just that in general made you stronger?
Yeah.
That sort of having to.
Oh God, it made me so strong.
Yeah.
Because you never knew what you were gonna get, and I was doing it weekly, so I couldn't do the same set
Oh,
every
so you
time.
had to
I had to
constantly
change it up.
like writing new shit. and-
Yeah. Yeah. It was a challenge for sure.
Oh,
I don't regret any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It
I
was
mean,
good.
why?
It was good.
Why should you? That's amazing.
Yeah, but the great thing that came from that was every now and then one of the other queens would be like, "Oh, I didn't know that you did comedy. That's cool. Do you want to come open my show?" Like
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's how I met Chad Michaels. Yeah, Chad is actually Morgan's drag mother.
Oh my God, amazing.
But Chad was in Palm Springs one day. Was like, "Oh, I didn't know. Did you want to come do my show in San Diego?" And I said yes, of course, because Chad was always my favorite, which is kind of funny.
That's so funny.
So I watched Drag Race before I met any of the girls.
Oh my God.
I've watched the show literally since season 1.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but I didn't know that they did drag shows, like actual live shows, until years later.
That's so-
I was working in a restaurant at the time. One of the waiters was like, "Do you want to go to Mickey's to see the drag show?" I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" I didn't know.
I know that's such a like, and I feel like it's much less underground now, but there's still a lot of people who probably
Yeah.
think, no, it's just on the show. They do
Yeah.
this for for the TV show.
No, these girls have been working their asses off in bars for years and years and years and years and years.
Hustling.
Yeah, hustle. It's like comedy. It's a constant hustle.
It's a fucking grind. I
Yeah.
mean, are there like open mic level drag shows? How do you break in?
There are a lot of like shows
amateur
with
nights
kinda-
or something? Or slots maybe? They have like one or two new girl spots?
I mean, there are tons of girls in LA who have been on RuPaul's Drag Race, but there's also tons of girls who have not been.
Yeah.
But those girls still work too.
That's so interesting.
Because if they show up and they're good and they're painted and they show up to work, like people will notice and they
Yeah.
will start to get spots.
And everyone, yeah, because
You know?
it's so much like comedy. Like we want a
Yeah.
good show.
Yeah.
You're up there fucking, doing your shit. I don't care how many seasons of Drag Race you were on if
Right.
you can fucking bring it.
I mean, there are girls out there who have never been on RuPaul's Drag Race, but they're hungry and their work ethic they're working so hard that they sometimes push harder and outperform some of the girls from Drag Race because they want it and they're hungry.
Yeah, and then
And-
it's like you
Yeah.
probably feel like it's the same as if you're on a lineup with a bunch of people who maybe have a ton of great credits. Then you feel like, and even if it's your own pressure, but you feel like I gotta
gotta
bring
prove
it.
something.
Everyone
Yeah.
else here has a Netflix special, and everyone's gonna be like, well, who's that?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's very similar. It's very, very, very similar.
Did
Yeah.
like diving into that world and being constantly surrounded by drag queens, did that change or affect your self-perception in terms of, did it make you feel like you had to like up your makeup game at all? Did it ever like get in your head like, oh, I should have
Yeah.
thicker eyebrows? Or
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, the girls they will push you for sure. Like they will give you a bunch of shit, but it all comes from love.
catty.
It's
the fucking the throwing shade in a like
there's
silly,
so much shade in the culture. That's all it is.
We're like,
really.
bitch.
Yeah, but see, if I were to, there have actually been times where I've used terminology. Like one day I was at Flappers in Burbank, and there was
Classic.
this woman sitting right in the front row. And she was kind of like a little not in the greatest of moods and not really having a good time. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll talk to her. I'll try to get her to lighten up. She's sitting in the front row with her arms crossed, pissing me off. So
Yeah.
I'll start talking to her. And then I got her to kind of warm up. I'm like, cool, now we're buddies now.
Yay.
And she was wearing this beautiful jacket. And I said, oh, girl, I'm not mad at your jacket. And she said, why would you be mad at my jacket? I
Oh
said,
my God.
let me translate that to straight people. I like your jacket.
That's so funny because that
know?
sentence is so clear to me.
Yeah.
When you just hang out with enough, I guess, queens or even just like gay men.
Yeah, you're used to
I'm
it.
not mad at that.
We call everybody girl. If I say bitch, I'm not actually calling you a bitch. You know what I
God,
mean?
That's.
Yeah.
How do you feel about people who are like militant feminists who think the word bitch should be erratic? It's a terrible.
You're giving the word too much power. If that's
Thank
the
you.
problem.
Also, if you hate the word cunt, you're a cunt. I stand by that.
You're giving the word is whatever you make of it.
Yeah, it's like lighten up.
If someone were to call me a cunt, I say thank you.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Did
They have that on Drag Race. They say it's charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Did they ever try to give you a makeover?
Well, okay, so I used to have long, like kind of mousy brown hair that was just kind of a mess.
Wait, now I'm like, yes.
Long, like when we first met.
It was just like
Remember I had
long.
that long hair that never it never did anything with it. It was
I didn't
just
think it
there.
looked bad. It was just hair.
It didn't look bad. It just wasn't.
It wasn't the hair that people go, oh, bitch.
No, it
Look at
wasn't.
that hair.
Right. So I eventually went blonde, which was great. It was fun and all, but I still didn't know what to do with it. But then it wound up like getting so dried out that one day
Fucking blonde is so hard,
it's
especially from like a
so
dark
hard.
color.
Yeah, it was so hard. But Mariah Paris Balenciaga, who is
Ah!
amazing, she's helped me with my makeup a lot. And she's helped me with my hair. She literally, there was one day we came back from Palm Springs. We were sitting in Morgan's garage and everybody was pretty drunk. And Mariah was like, your hair, girl, it's dead. Go in the garage. I'm like, what? Go sit down. Go sit in the garage. I'm going to cut your hair. I was like, no. She's like, just let me. And she was so adamant about it.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
God help me.
I was so nervous.
You're drunk.
But she works better when she's drunk. Trust
I
me.
mean,
She's
a
one
lot
those
of people do.
Very high functioning. That's kind of the ongoing joke is Mariah always has her sippy cup.
That's so
You
funny.
know. Yeah. So she gives me like the Jenny McCarthy bob.
Yes. Very cute.
And I was like, oh, I can feel my neck. I'm panicking. But then it kind of became a part
Your
of
look.
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's all because Mariah was like, no, I'm going to help you with that.
I'm fixing this right now.
Yeah.
That's so funny because, I forgot about your old hair. Like I picture you with the hair you
I'm
have
so
now.
used to this short. It's kind of like a, angled bob.
Angled bob, which
Yeah.
looks so good on
Which I
you.
would have never had the balls to do.
No, especially if you have
one
long
for
hair,
her.
you just go, I don't know. I cut mine recently and I was like, I'm not sure what to do. So even the hairdresser was like, well, I'm going to go longer than you think that you want to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So we don't. But it's a fucking...
It's because
It's scary.
As a woman, your hair is such a huge part of your identity.
Yeah, even if you don't want it to be.
Yeah.
And like, I think I've made it clear through the years with the amount of hair colors I've had that I don't want to be identified by my hair. But like,
Yeah.
a big cut is scary.
It's such a huge change.
Yeah, because you could think that it's not part. You could be like,
But it is.
doesn't matter, and then you cut it,
does
and you're
matter.
like, who is this?
That's why when we break up or we get emotional, what's the first thing we do? We change our hair.
Fucking
what
cut,
we
chop,
do.
color.
Uh-huh.
It's so true, and it really does, for better or worse, whatever your hair looks like, how you dress, it gives out a vibe. To
It
people.
does.
So you could unknowingly be giving people the complete wrong read.
I wonder sometimes because I have this like kind of short angled haircut and then I have a lot of tattoos. So I'm like, I wonder what people, if I'm just walking by, would think.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
I'd be like, I bet this is a cool mom.
Wow.
Oh no, but you don't look like you don't have mom vibes. But I feel like.
Cool dog mom.
I don't know, cool dog mom.
Yeah, I can see
Something about the angled bob makes me feel like hot bitch, maybe a mom.
Yeah, I like it.
And I say that with all the respect.
Yeah.
Because
it's also very
it's an
can I see a
unfair
manager?
thing. Yes. Yeah, that's the first thing when I
Yeah.
cut my hair. I was like, and because I've been leaving mine like curly and stuff, but I kind of have a bit of the angled bob myself
Mm-hmm.
now. And I first looked in the mirror and I was like, I look like I want to speak to the manager's manager.
Completely.
Like, I was
And like
this-
I have a toe ring and a butterfly on the small of my back.
Oh yeah.
And a dolphin on my ankle.
Oh, there's definitely a dolphin thing for
yeah.
sure. Life is a
Totally.
beach.
Oh my God. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then it's like maybe some type of Jeep.
Live, love, breathe. What is it? Live, love, laugh.
Laugh, yeah. Just
the-
a lot of like catchphrases.
You're like a walking inspirational quote
Seize
from
the
Etsy.
day,
Yeah.
you
ugh,
know?
Gross.
Oh God, so funny.
Yeah.
but also like the cut also just fits your face,
Thanks.
your vibe.
Yeah,
it's like
it's-
you make it. That's the thing is I say that like the haircut itself,
Yeah.
is what I was analyzing, but then you have it and it's this fucking like cool rock. Like I'm like, yeah, no, of course you hang out with drag queens. You're fucking cool. Like if I didn't know you, I think I would be like, I'm afraid to talk to her. She's so cool.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my God,
and I hope
thanks.
that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Because I'm gonna be like, people don't want to talk to me, but it's just like you have a fucking like badass bitch vibe.
See, sometimes I wonder if that's why I'm still single.
That's so funny. Well,
because of that and being surrounded by queens.
I want to talk about that. So
Yeah.
how does that impact? I'm sure somebody's asked you this. Do you feel like maybe you're surrounding yourself with gay men as like a subconscious pushing
blanket,
away?
as a security measure? I think I was for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
And now, like in terms of, I assume you're like trying to date, putting yourself out there a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
How is that being someone who's like surrounded by not only just like always gay men, but like a fierce, like strong personality
Yeah.
circle of friends?
Yeah. I do. I wonder if that's impacted. Well, I know that it has impacted my personality for sure.
Yeah.
Like my set has changed drastically.
Of course.
Because I'm more comfortable now and more confident.
You're not afraid to push the envelope
Yeah,
as
I'm
much.
not afraid to push as much. My material's gotten a lot like edgier and darker. since
I've noticed
hanging out
that. I
in
love
these-
it. I mean, I've always thought you were
Yeah.
funny, but it is like
Yeah.
the shit that I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gotten. I mean, especially lately, just because I dealt with some family stuff, and when you like go through loss and shit, you just like I don't care anymore. Like,
Oh, yeah. You're like, I don't give a fuck if I
Yeah.
offend. Oh, boo hoo. My family's
Well,
dead.
yeah, basically.
Yeah. Like, it's going to hurt
Yeah.
your feelings. Well, I have no
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
right?
I mean, that's my sense of humor in a
No,
nutshell.
that's completely my sense of humor.
Like, oh, are you upset because I lost people?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Fuck
sorry.
you.
Did your mom die of cancer? No, then let me talk about mine however the fuck I want to.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Then I can joke about it.
Yeah.
It's also healing in a
It
weird,
is.
like maybe fucked up way, but so much of my humor is a coping mechanism.
That's yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, and the thing also about gay men and queens is that they love a strong woman. They
Yes.
love a woman with an attitude.
Dude, some of my favorite like fans or shows I've done, it's like gay crowds.
Totally.
Fucking
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think that it's like that's a community that values someone who is not afraid to like stand by their opinion.
You can't go into a gay room and ask for permission.
No.
You have to just go in there and be like, "What's up, bitch? I'm here.
You're like,
You're
this
here.
is me,
I'm here.
bitch. I've got a pussy.
Yeah,
Deal
they
with
love it. They
Fuck.
love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but that took like years in the making for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever brought a guy around
Yeah.
Queens?
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, it's interesting. I had an ex come to the show once.
And he was an ex at the time.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
an ex
wow.
at the time, and he showed up. Yeah, and Morgan wasn't exactly friendly to him.
That's so.
Yeah, but then I've had other guys. But here's the thing, though. Like, you also can't really generalize. Like, if I were to bring a guy around, one queen might be really, "Hi, what's your name?" Da da da. Another
Yeah.
girl might be like, "Who the fuck is this?" It just, you can't. You
it's-
stereotype. They're all such different big personalities.
Yeah, it's just meeting people. I mean, it's like the equivalent of just, I guess,
Yeah.
in a weird, not even a weird way. It's like, I have a loud family. It's like bringing people, I guess a lot of them are pretty similar though.
Yeah.
No, but it's like just bringing anyone around a lot of strong personalities. Cause I think even bringing, my boyfriend around like comedians is like,
You want to be careful. You kind of tread a little lightly.
cause then it's like, what are they going to say to him? What are they going to say to me later?
Right. I kind of have a thing where I'm not going to bring a guy around and actually like introduce him to the girls unless I'm really serious about
Really
it.
serious. No, and I'm the same way. I would
Yeah.
never, it shocks me with, and it's not the same, but male comics who will bring a
different girl every
on a
time.
date to
Yeah.
a show, an open mic. Why are you out of your fucking mind?
Not an open mic.
But like even shows, I'm like, you're just bringing this girl you just met. First of all, as what she's one of your bringer people is basically
Yeah.
what's happening, and then
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna remember this. There's been one or two times where I've been like, nice to see you again to someone who it's made very evident that I've never met that person, and I'm like, this isn't the girl that was here last week. Okay,
Whoops.
Oh, excuse me.
But I feel like if you just say, "Hey, nice to see you," don't
Yeah.
put the again, because that could be, "Hey, nice to meet you," or it could be, "Hey, I remember you."
That's so true.
That's what I do.
try to do that, but like,
Yeah.
boy, sometimes I have been so confidently wrong.
Try doing this. Try meeting someone as a girl, and then they come up to you 2 weeks later as a boy, and they say, "Hi, Samantha," and you're like, "Who the fuck are you?"
I mean, they have to know. They
They
have to be
know.
like, oh,
Yeah,
it's me.
It happens. So, but sometimes sometimes I'll have met them a couple times. You have to think, because I stage manage
Yeah.
drag shows as well. So I meet a lot of people, and I meet a lot of the girls' friends or assistants. And sometimes if I've only met you once or twice, and if I meet you when I'm literally running to the DJ booth to fix a music problem, I'm not going to
Yeah,
remember.
it's in and out.
And I feel awful because they know my name, and I feel so bad.
And you're like, it's not a reflection of you.
Yeah.
Maybe. Do you feel like, because I feel like I'm able to better remember, I keep comparing it to comedy, and I feel like that's lame, but that's my only
It's
source
so
of reference.
similar, though.
And,
It
and
really
you've
is.
done, and you do both.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a little bit better at remembering someone if I see their set. If it's a
yeah.
good set.
Yeah,
especially.
if it's good.
Do you feel like that's...
If there was nothing funny, then I won't remember.
Do you feel like it's the same with drag queens?
Well, yes, I think so. I mean, it might be harder for me to answer that properly because when I meet a lot of these girls, like I said, I am working.
So you don't even get
So
to
I'm
really
not
fully watch.
just enjoying the show. I'm running around or doing something or, fixing a problem or making sure the next girl's ready to go or changing the lineup or, so
Wow.
I don't sit and watch drag shows anymore.
No,
which is
is that-
kind of a bummer because I did.
I was gonna
at
ask,
first.
is
I used
that-
to have the best time doing it. And now I do it so often it's become it's more work related for me.
It's so funny when
Yeah.
something you love
turns
becomes
into work.
work because it's this
Yeah.
weird. I mean, it's the same thing with comedy. It's like a weird just place to be where you're like, oh, this is a thing I loved. And now it's like,
Yeah, because there are days when
gotta clock in.
right.
Yeah.
Because there are days that you genuinely are excited. You're in a good mood. You want to go.
Absolutely.
But then there are days you're like, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to go to work.
And you're like, I have to.
But then you think, you know what? I'm not working in a cubicle. I'm lucky.
Yeah.
I'm doing something.
Gotta keep that
See,
perspective.
the funny thing is like everyone else sees our job, whether it be drag or doing comedy, they sees our job as, oh, you can go late at night and you're laughing and hanging out with people. You can do shots while you're working. You can do stuff that you know,
you
in an office
associate with like
environment.
party.
Yeah. But to me, like that's just a Monday night,
Yeah.
you know?
And then it's like, yeah, I can like, but also like I can't go do that with my friends who have regular jobs somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like I am at a comedy club.
Exactly.
You know, and it's like,
while they're off, while they're enjoying their weekend, that's when we're working.
yeah. And granted, it's like
You
in
know?
theory, you know, a little bit more loose and fun
Sure,
work
yeah.
environment. But then,
Sure.
yeah, it is. Your hours are weird. So trying to even be friends with people who keep regular hours is
It's
like,
hard. And that's what's hard dating for me. That's what's really, really hard.
I mean, I know it. I mean, even
Yeah.
though I'm dating someone now, it's like I was out there in
Yeah.
I dated comics for so many years because I think
I'm really trying a no comic rule thing.
no, I
I'm really
mean
trying
you
it.
should, and I get it. And this is not a knock at any of the people I dated, but like a lot of it, I think came down to convenience.
Yeah.
You know, and not that they weren't great, but it's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're here, I'm here. We have a thing. We have a spark. We keep the
Right.
same schedule.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's plenty of cons to it as well.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Do you try to look for men who are some other type of nighttime employee? Are you like, chefs?
I just look for a guy that I like. Just give me any kind of chemistry and I'm happy.
That's
And then
fair.
we'll go from there. But I always do, like within the first couple dates, if I like them, I always make sure to say, oh, I work on drag shows. My friends are drag queens. Because if they have a problem with that, then they're out.
Oh, you have to know immediately.
I
Have
have
you
to
ever had
know.
that?
No, actually, I haven't had. No one's had a problem with it.
I mean,
There have been a couple guys who were like, "Oh, okay." They just didn't know much about it.
Okay.
But I've never had anyone be like, "Oh, no, I'm not okay with that." That's
Yeah,
No.
and it's probably in LA you're less likely to find that, but it is important
True.
to just clear that out of the way.
True.
Because I've full on been in relationships with people I hate out of my own self-worth issues. Let's not lie to ourselves. But like, yeah, finding that stuff out like later into it when you're like,
Yeah, that's
oh
not
boy,
good.
I wish you would have fucking worn
me
a
know you
t-shirt
were-
that told me all of this. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're a bad person.
yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Have you ever had any incidents with anyone like talking shit about it or
Like because they weren't okay
with, I guess, that whole culture? Do you ever get like random internet commenters or?
Not really.
Yeah,
No, actually.
I feel like, well, that's a great thing.
It's so. I just have to remind myself and pay respects to the queens and particularly the trans women who really paved the way.
yeah.
Back, you know, in the 70s. I mean, you're talking about Stonewall in New York. You know,
Yeah.
that was such a different time. I mean, when a lot of my friends even started doing drag 18 years ago, 15, 18 years, they couldn't leave the house without having to watch their back.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's like, oh my God, are you on TV? It's so different. And so you see a lot of the not older, but queens who were, you know, in their 30s and up, they have a different perspective on it than
Yeah.
these new young girls who are just gorgeous and beautiful, but some of them are just quite young and arrogant and
Oh,
don't
'cause
think
they
have to-
never-
they never experience any opposition to it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you never got like beat up on a train
Right.
on the way to a fucking show, bitch.
Yeah, and now like everyone's so focused on looks that a lot of these girls are stunning, but they don't perform. They don't really. And that's just a
Well, that's just across the
I mean,
board is-
everyone's different, but you know what I
Anyone
mean.
who's too hot performs less.
Yeah,
Let's
I
just be
know.
realistic.
Yeah, they're just
drag
like,
queen or not.
I'm
It's
just
just like,
gonna look here.
I don't have to
Yeah.
be smart. Look
Yeah.
at- I have tits. And you're like,
They-
well, good for you,
that's
bitch.
great. I have to be smart.
I mean, fucking amen. Or it's like, yeah, there's just a level of hotness where people go like, I don't need a personality. Like, meanwhile, the rest of us are clawing. Like,
I
we're just like,
know.
look at me.
Look at me. I'm so funny and charming and talented.
Aren't I quirky?
I have to have a personality because I also have cellulite. You know?
Yeah, it's like it comes with the territory.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that pisses me off about these fucking queens is that men don't really have cellulite.
So it's like they're putting on all the parts of the women's body that like
Yes.
we all love. We
Yes.
all want some fucking titties and hips
Exactly.
and
Yep.
yeah, and then fucking ripped. You're like, oh, and then your legs are the most athletic thing
Yeah.
I've ever seen because you carry
'Cause-
less body fat naturally.
Exactly. And they'll be like, why don't you wear a mini skirt? Because I'm not wearing a mini
And
skirt.
you're like, my legs look like quinoa. Me, not you.
no, me too.
God bless. And then we just have,
God
and,
bless.
and it's like, I'm not ready to be part of the body positive movement yet, okay?
Right?
I haven't worked myself up to positivity. I salute the rest of you.
Yes.
I'm not #brave yet.
Nope.
Like, yeah, because it's like that's so funny. Just that a queen that's like, because you wear that and people call you fierce. I wear it and people are like, so brave.
Yeah, I know.
Just
Completely.
so positive, and you're like,
Completely.
I noticed you're wearing glittery eyeshadow. Were you always a glitter person, or have you gotten more glittery? I'm obsessed with glitter.
This particular shadow, I think it's called Pretty Shiny Shadow from MAC. It's actually me being 100% lazy, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Because this one product, I should like promote it for MAC. It goes on so beautifully and it's so easy to put on that it takes me all of 2 minutes
It truly is like such
to
a
do my
pretty
makeup.
shimmer.
It's so simple. Yeah. But I've also had to learn from watching the girls paint and from having Mariah constantly harp on me for things. Like I learned how to do a better cat eye. I learned how to blend. I had a friend, Vicky Vox.
Blend?
Yeah, my friend Vicky is one of the most talented people you'll ever meet. Did you see Magic Mike 2?
I have not seen the sequel.
Okay. Well, she's
I
the only
should.
good part of it. No, the movie was fine. But so they all, like all the strippers go to a club and it winds up being a drag club.
Amazing.
And so my friend Vicky plays the host and she befriends them and hangs out with Channing Tatum and all that.
Bitch.
But anyway, she used to tell me when I first started kind of playing with makeup a little bit, I was doing it really, meek, kind of just a little bit here. She'd be like, "Girl, you pushing around browns again? Like, let's give you some color." And like she would,
so funny pushing around
browns.
Yeah,
We still laugh about that.
I'm still learning. Like half the time I contour, it looks like I was in a fire. Like just like
Oh
a
God,
burn
I'm not really
victim.
good with contour.
Or
at
I
all.
just do like too aggressive.
Yeah.
Which I'm almost like, maybe I'll just lean into fucking aggressive.
Yeah, fucking go for it.
I mean, if I had the energy, I would go like David Bowie level makeup.
It's
like
just so
Ziggy
much
Stardust
work.
every night, but it's work and money.
Yeah.
Like the amount.
That's the
I don't
thing.
know how they keep up that
Yeah.
expense.
Well, that's the thing that is frustrating to me because I get hit up a lot by people saying, "Oh, I want to book a queen for this thing I have. Da-da-da. Do you know who will do it?" And I'll be like, "Well, what's your budget?" Budget? Yeah, budget.
Yeah,
These girls, you expect them to work for free? Do you know how much money they spend on their makeup and their costuming? It's
Like every night, I
expensive.
feel like it has to be.
They're not going to come in and work for $20. That's disrespectful. No.
That's so fucking. That won't even cover an eye.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
Here, this is the upfront fee for my face.
Yeah.
This is the face fee.
Yeah, people don't realize these girls work really hard. They make money. Like they know they can definitely make money at it, but they put a lot of money into it.
What? Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you're putting money back into your, which I would
Into
love
your
to
craft.
do.
Yeah.
That's just I've been wrestling with. I've been playing with. I mean, my level of doing makeup, but like different looks on stage at the Comedy Store because
Yeah.
it's late night, so it's like.
Fuck
You know,
it.
low risk. So I've been like, maybe I'll do a bunch of makeup. Maybe I'll wear like dress up. Maybe I'll dress down. Just
I
to
guess
see.
it depends on how you're comfortable, I suppose.
Yeah, and there is something to like trying to deliver certain types of material. If you're too
Yeah.
dressed up, it is a little.
Yeah.
It's hard to be self-deprecating. Not that it's impossible, but if you're like dressed to the nines,
Right.
That it's like, oh, you hate yourself. Like if you really hated yourself, would you even try? Like,
Right.
would you be wearing high heels? Would you just? You're depressed, but you fucking contoured.
Yeah.
Which is also not fair to depression.
No.
But
That is the one thing that I do get harassed quite a bit about is high heels because I don't wear them.
you're like, I fucking refuse.
I can't. Well, I physically can't. That's what
Yeah.
I try to explain to them is like I have bulging discs and a curve in my spine. I physically cannot do it.
Do you get shit for
They
that?
don't
Like,
get
oh,
it.
you're
They
just
don't
a
get it.
pussy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a joke about it about how one day Pandora Box, who's you did the
Incredible. I love
podcast
Pandora.
with us,
Yeah.
Pandora was like, "Girl, when are you gonna wear a high heel?" And I told her, I can't. So the joke is, she looked at me and said, "Girl, my dick is up my own ass right now. Put on a high heel."
That's
You
so
know?
funny.
I'm like, "Well, good for you. You're getting paid." So
You know what? Honestly, if it's between nothing and those god awful kitten heels, stay flat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Those
What's the
fucking,
point of a
like-
kitten heel? I'm gonna get made fun of for that too.
Yeah, like you don't need to wear like 40-year-old secretary shoes from like the 80s. Like it just.
Right.
Anytime I see anyone in those like little tiny heels, I just
Right.
picture that. Like that front desk lady from the movie Grease who's always like licking the chocolate off her
Oh, yeah, yeah,
fingers.
yeah.
I'm like, nobody wants to be
Nobody
that bitch.
wants to do that.
No, it's like, what are you, 5?
Right. But it's funny. I do get, a lot of like girls, straight girls, even gay men, but a lot of straight girls will come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, you're so lucky. And you get to, da-da-da-da." And they're all dressed up. They're all like trying to be impressive and what. And I'm just like, oh God, I don't have the energy for that.
No, I mean, straight girls who try to dress like drag queens.
It's like,
God
girl,
bless you.
bless you.
But like, I just don't
But
have.
if a girl walks in and she's just painted and stunning and together, all the queens will be like, "Oh, they will all make a fuss over her for
Yeah,
sure.
of course.
But they'll never talk to her again. You know what I mean? They're stuck with me.
Yeah. You can't
I've
get
been
rid
around
of
long
me.
enough that I'm like, I ain't afraid of you bitches.
Do you ever get offered makeup or weird costume hand-me-downs?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have any like weird wardrobe pieces that someone's like, I'm not using this anymore?
No, I mean there were definite perks. I mean, like when I used to spend Halloween with Morgan, I could just go through her closet and just pull whatever she has in there.
That's amazing.
Which is definitely awesome. An easy perk.
Fucking what?
Yeah.
I just want to be in that closet. I think I would feel at peace. I'd be like,
Well, a lot of girls have an entirely like a separate room or their entire garage.
that's what I wonder, because all that stuff, because
Yeah.
even just myself trying to collect a few pieces
Yeah.
to like
They
spice
have
up the
so
on
much
stage
stuff.
wardrobe is like, this is,
Yeah.
I got like 2 jackets with sequins and I'm like, there's no room for
Right.
anything
But
else.
that's a huge part of their job.
Yeah,
You know,
it's-
is their look, is their job. It's their calling card.
tax deductible.
Yeah.
right?
Oh
Like,
God, they can write all that shit off. for
anything
sure.
off, any type of
Yeah.
makeup, whatever. So do you kind of do like booking agent a little bit for some of these girls?
I just started. Yeah.
That's
I just started
incredible.
working on the Ross Bubbly Brunch, if you know Ross Matthews.
Yes.
He's a judge in RuPaul's Drag Race.
Incredible.
And
So
the-
funny.
Yeah, he's so cool. The great thing is that so when I was young, well, I don't remember exactly what year it was, but I used to watch with my dad. We watched The Tonight Show, and it was Ross the intern.
Oh my God.
Remember that?
Fuck.
Ross the intern. That's how we
Wow.
started.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
And so like years ago when I first met him, I got to tell him that story and you know, and then he asked me like, oh, you know, something about my dad. And I said, oh, he had passed, and we kind of had a moment. It was great.
Oh.
And then it's crazy because cut to like a year and a half ago, I happened to be in Palm Springs on Mother's Day, and I had just lost my mom.
Oh God.
And yeah,
So sad.
and I was obviously a mess, but I was trying to. Of
But you're like
hold
trying
it
to
in.
do. Obviously, that sounds
Yeah.
like you were trying to do self care, even just going to Palm Springs. Like, let me go be around people I love. And
yeah, let me go have fun and try to like. I don't have anywhere else
don't
to be.
mope.
you know?
Yeah, like good for
Yeah.
you for like just trying to.
Yeah,
that's hard.
So we wound up going to. I think Morgan was working Ross's show that morning, and then we all went to a bar afterwards, and somehow it got brought up. And when Ross realized why I was emotional, like he could not have been sweeter to me. He was so sweet and just we literally hung out the entire night. He would just like get me a drink. We sat together. I mean, he was so sweet. He was so sweet to me.
incredible.
So it's kind of crazy that like a year later, I'm now helping work on his shows.
That's
Yeah, but it's amazing. They're called Ross Bubbly Brunch, and they have one every Saturday at Rocco's in West Hollywood.
amazing.
Every Sunday at Moxie in Palm Springs.
and do you go
now-
to these live now?
I used to go to the one on Sundays, not so much anymore
just
because it's just so far.
Yeah.
Now
I
I
wanna
go
come on Saturdays.
Yeah, I work on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So come on a Saturday.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. They also do Bakersfield and I think like Cleveland, Puerto Vallarta, Chicago. Like
Cool.
they're
So
really
we've got this whole like little brand.
yeah.
Listen, if he wants to
Yeah.
branch into Nashville, I have a friend who's got a toe in that
Ooh.
door. So
You know what's you know what's really cool too is he's also doing these brunches in comedy clubs. So we have one at Oxnard Levity Live. We
That's
did the
great.
Ontario Improv. You
That's
know
also
what I
a
mean? It's
good
pretty
low
cool.
key. You're now cultivating
Completely.
these relationships at those
Completely.
clubs.
Oh, you know I worked that. You
Oh,
know
of
I,
course.
you know I mentioned I was a comic on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like as soon as I met the GM, I was like, I'm gonna make this fucker laugh all night, and I did, and now he loves me. So I'm like, cool. Hi.
I'm here.
Hi.
You ever need someone to
When I get booked, can I
fill
go-
in?
Very that.
Give me a weekend. I'll
But
do anything.
That's what we do as comics, and that's what the girls have to do. As
Absolutely.
Queens. It's constantly.
It's like, you know,
Yeah.
being around. That's actually been a goal of mine this year because I've been kind of the last couple of years, not intentionally, but
But
like
you've been touring, but that's amazing.
But then I come in town and I'm, you know, for whatever millions of reasons, either just tired or kind of want to like recharge. So I'm not out at all.
that's fine.
I know, but I want to be,
Yeah.
you know, go to one show a week that you're not on. If
Yeah.
or, you know, if you have a night off or your spot's late, go stop by. It's good.
Yeah.
Because I just get like, I don't know, is that weird? It's like, you're going
No.
to see friends. It's going to be
not weird
fun.
at
And
all.
then so much of getting shows is seeing someone going, oh shit.
It's very that.
Yeah. Oh, you. Yeah. Come do the
See,
show.
that's what I tell people because, like I've booked a lot of comedy shows
Yeah.
over the years, and so if someone who I know and love shows up or messages me, hey, I'd love to do your show, I'm like, thank you. You're making my job easier.
Yeah.
Because I already know you. I already trust you.
Yeah.
Easy. Sure.
And I've
Great.
gotten bad about that. The
Yeah.
store made me a little bit, no, I'm not going to say a little bit, lazy with
Yeah.
reaching out.
Yeah.
So lazy.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful to you because you're someone who like, I keep
Yeah. I'll text you.
I'm in your mind, you know, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Don't forget
Yeah.
about me. I'm sorry I never reach out.
No,
I'm sorry I
there
cancel
is-
half the time because I'll book something else.
I get it.
But like, yeah.
But sometimes I feel bad because my brain only has so much capacity. You know,
No,
I'm
of
trying to remember
course.
So much. So sometimes I'll see somebody and maybe if they feel bad, I haven't booked them. I'm like, God, just remind me. I love you.
Hit me up. Yeah.
Hit me up. Ask me.
If you've done my show before, I probably
Yeah.
would love to have you again.
Yeah, it makes it
Unless you
easier.
got booed off stage and used a racial slur.
Yeah, that might.
Then,
yeah.
you know, we might have to maybe
We might
have
have to talk about that.
discussion.
Yeah.
How do you like booking stuff?
It's hard.
Because that's the thing. I am so I bow down to everyone who produces a show. I fucking
Yeah.
love everyone, and I'm envious of your capacity to handle the stress.
It's hard. It's very, very challenging.
Yeah.
I did it for 4 years at Mickey's with a weekly. And that's how I got that show, by the way, was so Mickey's, I now work the drag show at night. But before I was
Amazing.
doing that, we were just all upstairs hanging out one day, and the general manager was like, oh, well, we're thinking of bringing in another show before the drag show on Mondays because it's happier. Like, we have nobody in here. And so it was actually one of the queens who was like, hi, she's a comic. Hello, book her.
Yeah.
And I had to
Amazing.
convince them because they're not a comedy club. They're not familiar with comedy. I had to really
what
pitch
is
it to
comedy?
them. Yeah, they didn't know how it worked. Yeah, but then that's kind of how I started doing shows.
That's awesome.
You know, in the LGBTQ community.
Well, and that's
Really.
cool because now you're opening a door for more of that in
Yeah.
a community where maybe people aren't seeing it enough, or maybe
Yeah.
like there's an opportunity to book more LGBT comics who aren't necessarily getting booked on
Yeah.
as many shows. And then there's still so much. I mean, things have progressed very, very well relative to like where they have been. In
Where
the
they
past,
were,
as far
yeah.
as
We still have a ways to
diversity
go.
and stuff, but there's still so many shows
Yeah.
that are booking like. And they may not tell you, but like, well, we already booked a gay person, or
Yeah.
like we already
Uh-huh.
booked a lady. You know,
I had a guy tell me once, he was like, oh, what are you talking about? I try to book, I always have at least 2 girls on the show. I'm like, oh, really? Out
Yeah.
of 10?
Oh, wow.
Like, you're
Yeah.
doing us a favor?
What a fucking hero you are.
Hero.
Yeah.
But he genuinely thought that I would be like, oh, great.
Well, and that's how some people, they really think that they're doing their diligence by like, let me make sure to book 2 women.
Yeah.
And some of it I think is, I'm a little forgiving on because I think people, after I booked a show for a little while, a monthly show very briefly, I was like, I am not a booker. I realized I'm like, oh, fuck, this is a skill that I don't want. Yeah. People sometimes just book the people they think of that they hang out around. And I guess a lot of men probably think of other men. And it's like, because that's who is
Gay.
like them. And it's like, fucking make a little bit of effort, dipshits.
Yes. No, I try to. I mean,
But it is
I get it.
frustrating.
You do whoever's in your forefront of
Yeah.
your mind because you just saw them yesterday.
Yeah.
I get that. Sure, fine. But also, that's why it helps just to come by and hang out at a show because,
Yeah.
oh, hey, I haven't seen it. Want to come?
Now you're
come
in my
do next
mind.
month. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even if that was what you were doing, your shows are organically packed with like such a fucking, like so many amazing gay comedians,
Yeah.
female comedians,
Yeah.
and then just like other,
It's
you know,
funny, I'm-
women of color, fucking, there's
Yeah.
some straight men, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm the opposite where I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'll try to book at least 2 straight men. Like that's
a year.
Listen, I book who I think is funny. I
Yeah.
just happen to be balls deep in a community of gay men and lesbians
That's
and
what you're
trans women.
surrounded by.
That's just, those are who I work with regularly.
Well, and it's also important to consider what kind of material the audience is going to like.
True.
That it's like,
True.
you know, is a room full of, you know, mostly like drunk bachelorettes and like gay men gonna give a fuck
There
about
was
some.
there was a guy once, I don't remember who it was, but he did a whole bit about like trying to go down on his girlfriend and trying to finger his girlfriend. It was so like it was so detailed
And you're like, what
that
are
a
you-
couple of the gay men were like, honey, wrong room.
Yeah,
Because it wasn't funny enough. That was the thing. You can talk, if a joke is funny, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Like they will go for it. People get weird. And also I've had a couple straight men who bombed brutally hard because they were pandering. They were trying to
get the gay people. And It's like, no,
Uh-huh.
do your comedy. It's what I booked you
just
for.
do what you would normally do. This audience, it's just an audience. They just want you to be funny.
Yeah, and own it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
own it, yeah.
Because there have even been a couple times at shows I've done of yours where I'll start doing a joke and I'll be like, this isn't the joke I should be doing in this
Right.
room. Where I'm like, why am I going down this path?
Yeah.
And it is always like a lot of, and I'm usually able to like either joke my way out of it or fucking try to make it work, or eat shit and deal with it. But like anytime I'm like, oh, I am fucking way too deep into this vagina joke.
But these two guys,
I have to address it.
I
I have to be like, look, nobody gives a fuck about a pussy in here. Like,
right. But so you're comfortable, so you can do that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these two guys, they got so uncomfortable that they couldn't get themselves out of the hole that they dug. Oh, and then they started getting angry because the audience wasn't laughing. And it's like, well, you're just continuing to dig yourself into this hole.
Well, you're bumming. It's you suck. This is a great crowd.
But they were both good comics that I've seen do great in other rooms.
Yeah.
One guy, when he asked me about it again, I was like, did you have fun? Did you enjoy your experience? He's like, oh, well, the system was really messed up. So I don't think, and I said, no, I don't think it was the system. The problem was they could hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you fine. I heard you bombing.
The other guy was like, I got in my head. It was my bad. And I said, you know what? We'll try it again. He came back and crushed because he just got over his own shit.
That's great. And also how great for him that he had the opportunity to come back. Yeah,
he's really great. The fact that he was aware of what was going on. I was like, I like this guy's great.
And communicated self-awareness is beautiful.
The other one just got too weird about it. And I was like, don't be weird.
I'll just book other people.
Yeah. Like if you're not having fun, I don't want you to not have fun. I'm not going to book you for a show and then know that you're not going to have fun.
Yeah. I don't want you to come and be
what's the point?
I guess I'll do this spot.
Yeah. It's okay. Someone else will do it. Yeah. It's fine.
I'm sure you'll be fine, white man.
Yeah.
Like get out there.
Yeah. Right.
Would you have any advice for someone who maybe is I'm gonna ask your advice for someone trying to get into drag. I feel like that's a thing I should ask a drag queen maybe, but maybe someone
to get into drag. I mean, go to shows. The same
go
as
to
comedy.
shows.
Go to shows.
I was gonna say someone who maybe is like interested in going to shows, but
what you need to do when you're doing drag, you need to go to shows in drag,
and do people do that?
Yes.
Do people just show up and sit in the crowd?
And that's so smart when they do. Because then people are like, oh, who is that? Your name starts to get out.
Who is she?
Be respectful. Go and like tip the girls who are performing. Say hello. Introduce yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. And then at some point, a spot's going to open up and they're going to need someone.
There's going to be some sort of incident where someone was pushed down the stairs.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Vary that.
Yeah.
But yeah, find out who books it. Send a clip of you performing saying, hi, I really love your show. I hang out all the time. If you ever have a spot open up, I'd love to be considered. It's the same thing.
Do you think for a drag submission clip, could you just do it alone in your home and have someone be like, they can work? Or would you need to see the energy?
No, I would need to see you perform.
Okay. I wanted to ask that.
Yeah.
Not because I don't think that's true with comedy either, but once a comedy festival told me that they didn't book this person. I have no idea who the person was, but they're like, yeah, one woman just sent us like her doing her jokes alone into a hairbrush.
Oh no.
And I was like, I hope that was like,
if that was a sketch,
I hope that was like all comedy
funny.
that you guys just weren't there for. Cause I was like, that's so funny. It's like funny because it's so awful,
Yeah.
But like, my God, that's
funny.
We talked about years ago trying to like tour around drag clubs or like
we should still do that.
I think that would be awesome.
We totally still can.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait.
No, I'm serious.
Wheels are turning.
There have been times where I've been out of town, and I would just say, hey, like when I was in Dallas, I wound up booking a spot at the Rose Room and it was incredible. Really? But I was able to go and be like, hey, hi, I'm this comic. So basically I showed up. I was going to be in town anyway for something else.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. So I found out who was the host of the drag show there. I reached out to her and she had never heard of me before or knew me. So I don't even know if she got back to me, but I was able to use all of my queen friends as references. Like, hey, I've worked with this person, this person, this person. And she
then the names you're dropping to drag queens, those are like,
they're all like drag race girls.
Yeah. So you might as well be like, yeah, no, I played guitar for Queen.
Right. But because it's not a standard comedy show, she was kind of like, well, it's already booked, give me some more notice next time and I'll see what I can do. But then I wound up showing up to the club anyway, because I was already in town. I'm like, whatever, I'll just go say hi. And I met her in person. She was super nice. And I just walked right back into the dressing room with her. And because I'm so comfortable in that environment, I just started shooting the shit with everybody. And she's like, wait, you're funny. I said, yeah, I know. I told you that.
You're like, I'm literally a comedian.
And she said, can you come back tomorrow night and open the show? I said, yeah. And it was one of my favorite show. It was so fun.
That's so badass.
Yeah, it was so much fun. So now I know if I'm ever in town, I can hit her up and be like, hey, I'm going to be here. Is it cool if I come in and just do some time?
I love it.
Yeah. But if we were to actually plan a tour around that, I know all the different venues in different cities and I can get a reference.
Yeah.
We can do it.
I wonder.
I talked about that with Anna Valenzuela as well.
Oh my.
Imagine if the three of us went out.
Oh my God. We three queens.
We
Yes. Oh my God. I wonder if we could incorporate drag or like do some sort of, or just get the venue and be like, whatever. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what the right move would be.
Yeah.
Anyways, we can talk about that off here.
Yeah.
But wow, I feel like I asked everything. I guess thank you. Any final thoughts on drag? Any just shout outs? Any, I don't know. It's a fucking weird thing to ask.
No. I mean, go to shows, support your local queens.
Yeah, look
People
it up.
who are
I mean, the
listening-
internet is accessible.
Yes.
So if you're someone who watches Drag Race and you
Yeah.
feel like I'd love to see that live, look it up.
Look it up. And also, like, there are so many incredible girls on Drag Race, but there's so many incredible girls not on the show yet. So
Just like stand-up comedy.
just exactly. Hello. Some people don't have Netflix specials.
Get Samantha Hale's album.
Thank you. Available soon.
Yay. I'll promote it when it comes out too.
Yeah, for sure. You know what's funny is everything's completely done. Literally, the only thing we're waiting on is the artwork. I'm like, of all the things
all hell.
that we were able to finish, we're waiting for the fucking artwork. Are you kidding me?
I mean, with the way editing takes, you're like, this is what.
Yes, it's torture.
It's the worst.
But now everything's ready. We got a graphic designer and she was not good. So we had to get a new one.
No,
Yeah, I know.
that's the fucking.
Because if it's your image, that's the first thing you see. It can't.
You're like, I want. Yeah, it can't be bad.
It can't be bad. It has to pop. It has to,
I'm so excited for you, but also
pop like a drag queen's tuck.
Yeah. Oh. Have you ever seen that happen?
Yeah, it's happened.
You've seen like just
I've seen everything.
costumes fall apart.
Nothing like I've seen everything.
a ball flop
Oh
out.
yeah,
And you're like,
balls, tapes. I've been gas masked before with a tuck. Oh yeah,
oh my God.
it's all very glamorous.
What is gas? Wait, what
They
gas
take their
mask?
tuck and like fucking Morgan, because she's an asshole, will come up behind me and like put her tuck around my nose. Oh, yeah. She thinks it's hilarious.
Oh, that's so horrifying. It's traumatizing, but very funny.
Yeah.
In a terrible childish prank sort of way.
Well, someone the other day was like, "Oh my God, it must be so glamorous. Is it so glamorous?" And I looked to my friend who is, kind of like me, friends with all the girls. We were kneeling down by a urinal picking up some pantyhose. We're like, yeah, it's so glamorous.
yeah, just such a lifestyle.
Such
we
a
live.
lifestyle. People don't see that side of it.
No, it's all like the glitz and the
glitz and the glam.
fabulous.
Yeah,
And
they
you're
don't see the chaos that happens.
Yeah, I'm over here
backstage.
mopping up glitter.
Basically.
Fuck.
There have been times where I had to like stop the show and beg one of the security guards, "Can you please clean the stage? Someone's gonna trip.
There's gonna be a slip.
Someone's gonna slip. Their stiletto's gonna get stuck in the confetti." I don't know. It happens.
Fucking
Oh, yeah.
God.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you have a favorite drag name?
Ooh, drag name.
I mean, do you have a couple favorite queens?
Oh, that's so hard because I'm friends with a lot.
You don't have to say anything.
Well, I don't know. There's so many girls who I really love.
do you want to
but-
say it when we cut and I'll put it up as like a bonus clip for Patreon?
Ooh, no, I don't care. I'll fucking say it. I mean, some of the people who I am lucky enough to call friends and family, Chad Michaels, Mayhem Miller,
Yeah.
Pandora Box, Mariah Balenciaga. There's so many, like Kylie Sonic Love.
Yeah.
I mean, I've kind of gotten to know most of the girls who like live in LA is the girls who I get to know more. Delta
Absolutely.
Work.
Have all of them been on Drag Race?
Yeah, all of those.
Is there
girls have been on Drag Race.
someone in LA that you love that hasn't been on Drag Race that you can think of?
Yeah, one of my friends is she's trans. Her name is Nikki Monet, and she is one of the most talented performers you will
Nikki
ever
Monet.
fucking see. Yeah, she hasn't been on Drag Race, but
Keep your eyes peeled, bitches.
she would
Go find her
just-
Instagram.
She's one of those queens that gets an applause break every time she performs. Yeah, she's so creative and just she's killer.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Ooh, Latrice Royale. I love Latrice.
there's just so many.
I know there's so many girls that are just fucking killer.
It's just all so fucking cool too, and to
Yeah.
see just the original concepts people come up with, like with the
Yeah.
costumes and fucking.
Jessica Wilde is my lesbian lover.
She's
my girlfriend.
She's great.
Yeah.
I think I met her with you on the podcast.
I think you did. Yeah.
Incredible.
And even like some of like the super crazy pop, there was like Bianca Del Rio is one of the most successful people you'll ever meet, and also just one of the. She's so kind. She's great. She's really great.
Do you find the dichotomy between when one of them has their makeup on versus not? Is there a lot
It
of?
depends. Some of them are just they are who they are.
It's like
in
they're
or
always
out.
like that, and sometimes they have more makeup on.
Yeah.
And then some. Is there
It's just like comic. Again,
Yeah.
it's the same. Some people are always on. Some people don't want to be the center of attention if they're not in drag.
yeah, they're like don't look at me without my
Yeah, like
eyebrows,
Pandora
bitch.
is actually kind of shy, but people don't know that because they perceive her as a comedy queen. So sometimes people will be like pushing her for attention, this and that. And she's just trying to like chill out and have a drink.
I'm like, I just
you
want
know?
to chill.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
You just everyone is just so different.
what?
What? I know. They're
Unheard
not
of.
all the same. It's crazy. Vicky Vox. You have to see. You guys look up Vicky Vox. She's
Absolutely.
fucking so good. So Vicky Vox and Detox, who's incredible as well, and Willem, they have a group called DWV that they were in years ago, and they do like parodies of songs.
That's amazing.
This Boy is a Bottom. Look up This Boy is a Bottom. It'll change your life. It's
oh
so
my
funny.
God, I love it.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
You can find me at any gay bar in West Hollywood.
Literally.
Literally. Twitter and Instagram at the Samantha Hale.
Amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me pick your brain.
Thanks
about
for
this.
having me.
Anytime. And I need to come.
Come
brunch
out to
and-
a show.
I
We'll
need
have
to.
some mimosas. We'll hang out.
I've been saying it for literally years.
Yeah.
And I just for the record, I've meant it every time.
I know.
Fucking mimosas. Yeah, I need to like
We'll show up with no
take
makeup
an
in
Uber.
flats.
Oh my God. Let's do it.
Because I don't care.
We are so hashtag brave. Oh God, kill me. All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. Samantha Hale. Drag 'em. Yeah. Obviously, she's fucking amazing. If you haven't already, if you didn't do it at the beginning, go pre-order her album. Let's help her get to #1 or get charted on that iTunes charts by pre-ordering, because that really does help make a difference when you pre-order the albums. I've done it, and I think you'll really be happy with your purchase if you do the same. If you enjoyed that and you haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, please do me a favor and go hit that subscribe button. Give me a rating and a review. I always share the reviews in my social media, my Instagram stories and whatnot, and it helps people find the podcast. Big thank you to John, Jean, Kathy, and Terry. I cannot stop. And Greg. Cannot stop these mother effing hiccups. Exclusive members of my League of Extraordinary Idiots, pardon me, on Patreon. I'm going to jump off a bridge. I can't do these episodes without you guys, and it's awesome having your support, and more importantly, getting to know you guys via our online friendships. If you guys want to join the Patreon, once again, patreon.com/ignoranceisblessed. Lots of cool stuff. You can get free tickets when I come to your town. You can even get some free tickets for other people when I come to your town, to their town. If you're friends with someone, you want them to go see me, and you can't make it to the show because you don't live in whatever Springfield I'm playing in. Wow. Nothing ruins timing. Well, that's not true. Like hiccups, as I say, probably a lot of marijuana or opiates, I imagine. Taking barbiturates would probably screw up timing. But right now, none of those are my problem. Listen, thanks for being here. Follow the podcast on Instagram, Ignorance is Blessed. I also have a podcast group. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. I keep forgetting to mention that, even though I think I have it written. No, I don't. I have a Facebook group. I have a little script note I go off of for each episode, and I guess I don't have the Facebook group written on there as a reminder, but there's a Facebook group, Ignorance is #BlessedIdiots. You can join that. People post little funny memes. We start discussions. We've talked a little bit about politics. It's a safe place for unsafe questions, so to speak. It's not a place to get in fights with people who disagree with you, but to engage in discussions about things that maybe you're like, here's my understanding, and I feel like other people don't agree with me. What's going on? Let's talk it out. And then just dumb, funny shit. And that's where I post asking for questions for all the guests. So that's your way to be at the forefront of who I'm going to interview and get ahead and ask questions that I can pass on. I hope you enjoyed that episode with Samantha. Please keep in mind that no guest is or claims to be a representative for every person who has a similar identity. They're just one person sharing their own experience and ideas to help us get a peek at how things look from their situated position in the world. If you got additional questions for Samantha, or you have another guest you'd like to suggest, best way to do that is via the podcast group. But you can also, email ignoranceisblessedpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up on any of my social media pages at JMS Comedy. My messages on Facebook are open, and I try to stay on top of checking the message requests on the other apps because they don't always go directly to my inbox. But I will do my best, as always, to deliver what I can and what you want. So keep sending suggestions and keep asking questions. The more we ask, the more we learn, the more we know. And the more we know, the more we can look down on others who aren't as smart as we are. And isn't that the point? Thank you for listening, and thank you for being patient with my ignorance. See you soon, idiots.